Hey there. You, wake up. Hey there. Wake up! Who makes the rules in them Babylon schools? For manipulate the children. To build a workforce here of machines. Cause them no want no really human beings. Them no want nobody thinking. Cause if you think that you might make a change. And I don't mean Barack Obama change. He's the devil. No, I ain't afraid to say the Rothschilds, you're working with the devil. And I also got to say all the Rockefellers, you're living with the devil. I speak about the house niggas that they use, the house niggas that they choose, like Barack Obama and the boy named Jay-Z. Oprah Winfrey is a wicked girl. I hear you talking some things in your dirty little world, but there's more than one way to salvation, you see. The boy them that used to run up in mouth, the Snoop Dogg just a bark and a shout. That's the things they get paid for, yeah, don't you say, yeah. It's strange that we never see the positive, we never hear the positive. The wickedness is what they want us to be. It's easy. No, I ain't afraid to say the Rothschilds, you're working with the devil. And I also got to say all the Rockefellers, you're living with the devil. Who paid for the Second World War? And who made all this crack cocaine? Mash up the people galore, inject AIDS in the children down in Africa. You make wars so you can control the drugs around this dirty little world, sir. And all we see is negative. The children live the negative. Oh my Lord, I tell you, yeah, we got to put a fight. The same people that killed Jesus will often make this right. No, I ain't afraid to say the Rothschilds, you're working with the devil. And I also got to say all the Rockefellers, you're living with the devil. No, I ain't afraid to say the Rothschilds, you're working with the devil. And I also got to say all the Rockefellers, you're living with the devil.
So it's not often you hear the Rothschilds, the Rockefellers, Jay-Z, Obama and Oprah Winfrey all called out on the same track. That's why we like that one. Getting it started for the Just Buggin Illuminati special, for want of a better phrase, 2012 special with myself, Mark Devlin. So we're into 2012, that magical, mythical year that everyone's been talking about. The world hasn't blown up yet. Although, as I record this, it's directly before the London Olympics, that massive occult ritual fest. So anything could happen, and we'll definitely be watching that one closely. But getting it started there with a guy called Steve Wilkes, Living with the Devil, Real Talk. And that's what these podcasts are all about. We cut through the bullshit. We've got no corporate affiliations. We don't have to worry about keeping certain bosses happy. We can just tell it like it is and deal with things that need to be addressed. So we've done a few of these so far. You might have caught some of the previous volumes. If not, they're all available still on the SoundCloud page. And that's soundcloud.com/Mark Devlin. You can catch the whole spectrum so far up on there. The first volume that I did in the early part of 2011, last time I checked, it got 16,755 hits and 1,600 downloads. So clearly this information and this music is striking a chord with a lot of people out there, and it would appear that it's tapping into some collective consciousness of people all over the world that want to know a bit more about what's really going on in the world, who's controlling it, what life is anyway, and what humanity is. You know, just average kind of fluffy, lightweight family subjects. Or maybe not. We've got a whole bunch of tracks from artists whose music address all those subjects on this podcast, so stick around for that. And incidentally, I'm going to be doing a series of interviews with a lot of these artists this year, before the end of the year. One of them is going to be that guy you just heard, Steve Wilkes, originally from Bristol. He's now relocated to Paris, and I've just completed one with this guy out of Huddersfield. He goes by the name of Imani Hikima, and he makes great music. Check this out.
It's the robots' rebellion. It's the robots' rebellion. For far too long we've been asleep. Remote control are so sticky. But humankind is waking up. This time no one can put a stop. It's the robots' rebellion. Waking up by the million. It's the robots' rebellion. Waking up by the million. With trivia they dumb you down. This weapon hardly makes a sound. And that's the way they get your mind. Unless you recognize the sign of the robots' rebellion. Waking up by the million. It's the robots' rebellion. Waking up, shaking up, waking up by the million. Hypnotize, mesmerize the system, pressurize, advertise, pack a lies, glamorize to traumatize. Will you realize? For far too long under a spell, looking for heaven, catching hell. Take back your mind and set it free. A robot's not the thing to be. It's the robots' rebellion. Waking up by the million. It's the robots' rebellion. Waking up, shaking up, waking up by the million. This time no one will put a stop. 1,000 petrol gonna drop. This time no one will put a stop, put a stop. Cause it's the robots' rebellion. It's the robots' revolution. Now!
Who the hell be telling you what the F they be selling you? Why the hell do you believe when you go when you leave? WTF WTF WTF. I occupy this state of mind like I'm born a second time. The masses ask the question why. Them asses spend a life behind. Or the MIC, the PIC. I'm against this prison industry where most of them look like me. Motherfuck the what? The Tea Party. It made you pay for education and got no money and got you waiting in tricks to keep the people fooled. It's something in the food, my dude, about your future and where you rank and who you think and who you think behind the banks and all them tanks. The new world order is on the brink. In revolution, it stops the feds and count the homeless underfed. So the pharmaceutical off the meds, leaving people left for dead. Looking back 80 years instead, simply blame it on the Reds. Pay close attention to what is said, but while you listen, you watch your heads and chase the money, you chase the fame. The human race is what they're playing, a game of life is what I'm saying. You split them up, you call them names. I'm at the age, if I can't teach, I shouldn't even open my mouth to speak. And talking loud and saying nothing, and fronting like they're doing something. Feel the people, heal the people, power goes out to the people. 18 to 35 years grown, can't afford to leave the home, can't afford to buy a home, can't afford to keep a home. Boarded up, foreclosed cribs, based on what your bank did. You see those guys advertise to pour for clothes. The doors are closed, they slam the doors on your nose. Who the hell is telling you what the hell they selling you? And why the hell do you believe in where we're headed when we leave? WT, what the what the what the what the what the what the yeah what the what the yeah what the
From Barack Obama to Flavor Flav, we will both be a first till we get to our grave. I'm the first black man in music, he's the first black president. He's the first black resident to be ever come president. Free your mind, your ass will follow. Flavor Flav all the way to the Apollo. Free put LI to LA. Throw a Frito Olay off the dock of the bay. You wanna know why a kid goes to school? And in his book bag he carries a tool, because he's trying to be like his idols in the streets. Gang warfare to the raw fear, don't even try to cough there. Penalties that you can't bear. You lose your sight, your ass can't hear. It weighs so much, it'll crush your life. Don't play with God, he gave you life. The last man standing, he hopes to be whole. His weight in stature, his weight in gold. What goes in your wash, comes out in your rinse. Back down so tight that you call it condensed. Can't stand the pressure, can't stand the pain. My life is so dry, I wish it would rain. Just like the Temptations, not just a singing group. I'm here to tell you now, so don't ignore the scoop. I've been in this rap game for 25 years. If we make the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame, we deserve our cheers. Without you, fuck the power to who stole the soul. Brothers gonna work it out for the crown we hold. God says to man, I'ma let you live. God says to man, I'ma let you live. God says to man, I'ma give you power, not for the intent to misuse your power. If you wanna dance, you got to play the band. People die by other hands. The innocent, the Ku Klux Klan, Iraq and Iran and Afghanistan. They go to war, they don't come back. The note comes home, killed in attack. All the medals from Fort Bragg, collected by a widow, along with the flag. 21 gun salute, 4 jets in the air. Now that's going out of style, your contribution was there. What you reap is what you sow. A man got killed for what he know. If you wanna be an asshole and get a good way, stay the fuck off of Skype and don't believe the hype. What the fuck?
Giving you the antidote to all that nasty, spirit-crushing, soul-destroying, intelligence-zapping, electro-pop garbage. There's enough of that out there. This podcast is all about meaningful music. Music with some integrity, something to say. Worthwhile, you know? In the background, the unmistakable sound of Public Enemy. Still going strong in 2012, they've just dropped a brand new album. called Most of My Heroes Don't Appear on No Stamps. That's the track WTF. Prior to that, Imani Hakima, The Robots Rebellion. Some positivity. And just a reminder to check out the full podcast interview with Imani Hakima on the SoundCloud page. Loads more of those on the way. So of course, Public Enemy, a group that's never had a problem saying what's on their mind, putting it out there. And there seems to be a whole host of artists now who are making a name for themselves out of dealing with kind of angry revolutionary music, addressing the conspiracy and various aspects of what's going on in the world. Of course, there's other aspects to this whole thing, but one of those artists is definitely the dude they call LOWKEY.
So, we must ask ourselves, what is the dictionary definition of terrorism? The systematic use of terror, especially as a means of coercion. But what is terror? According to the dictionary I hold in my hand, terror is violent or destructive acts, such as bombing, committed by groups in order to intimidate a population or government into granting their demands. So what's a terrorist?
They're calling me a terrorist, like they don't know who the terror is. When they put it on me, I tell them this: I'm all about peace and love. But they're calling me a terrorist, like they don't know who the terror is. Insulting my intelligence. Oh, how these people judge.
It seems like the ragheads and packies are worrying your dad, but your dad's favourite food is curry and kebab. It's funny but it's sad how they make your mummy hurry with her bags, rather read the Sun and study all the facts. Tell me, what's the bigger threat to human society? BAE systems or homemade IEDs, remote control drones killing off human lives, or man with homemade bomb committing suicide? I know you were terrified when you saw the towers fall. It's all terror, but some forms are more powerful. It seems nuts. How could there be such agony when more Israelis die from peanut allergies? It's like the definition didn't ever exist. I guess it's all just dependent who your nemesis is. Irrelevant how eloquent the rhetoric peddler is. They're telling fibs, now tell us who the terrorist is.
They're calling me a terrorist, like they don't know who the terror is. When they put it on me, I tell them this: I'm all about peace and love. But they're calling me a terrorist, like they don't know who the terror is. Insulting my intelligence. Oh, how these people judge.
Lumumba was democracy, Mossadegh was democracy, Allende was democracy, hypocrisy, it bothers me. Call you terrorists if you don't wanna be a colony. Refuse to bow down to a policy of robbery. Is terrorism my lyrics? When more Vietnam vets killed themselves after the war than died in it. This is very basic. One nation in the world has over 1,000 military bases. They say it's religion when clearly it isn't. It's not just Muslims that oppose your imperialism. Is Hugo Chavez a Muslim? Nah, I didn't think so. Is Castro a Muslim? Nah, I didn't think so. It's like the definition didn't ever exist. I guess it's all just dependent who your nemesis is. Irrelevant how eloquent the rhetoric peddler is. They're telling fibs, now tell us who the terrorist is.
They're calling me a terrorist, like they don't know who the terror is. When they put it on me, I tell them this: I'm all about peace and love. But they're calling me a terrorist, like they don't know who the terror is. Insulting my intelligence. Oh, how these people judge. You think that I don't know, but I know. You think that we don't know, but we know.
Was built in 7 terrorism, was now known thermite terrorism. Diego Garcia was terrorism. I am conscious, the conscious were terrorism. Phosphorus that burns hands, that is terrorism. Erdogan and Stern gang, that was terrorism. What they did in Hiroshima was terrorism. What they did in Fallujah was terrorism. Mandela ANC, that was terrorism. Jerry Adams IRA, that was terrorism. Eric Prince Blackwater was terrorism.
every day. Oh, yeah. You think that we don't know what we do.
Good evening, Ahmed.
Infidel.
So you're a terrorist?
Yes, I am a terrorist.
What kind of terrorist?
A terrifying terrorist. Silence! I kill you!
In today's lesson, we're going to take a look at words connected with fear and being afraid.
Global terrorism. 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 The evil terrorists.
Worldwide pandemic.
World Health Organization now says we could be in danger of a worldwide flu pandemic.
Swine flu, the swine flu.
Swine flu spreads.
Epidemic. Quarantined. Deadly outbreak of swine flu.
Global warming. Climate change.
They're going to die of global warming.
Well, quite frankly, if you're not terrified, you're not listening to what the climate scientists are saying. We should be scared.
Global financial crisis.
Financial markets are in shock.
It's a worldwide financial fiasco.
A financial crisis.
The world is in the middle of a nearly unprecedented economic crisis.
Many of the themes that are promoted on the Fox News channel have to do with generating fear.
When you pander to fear, it's a great motivator and organizer. You've got to keep people alarmed.
Everybody lock your doors and turn down the lights because another Muslim terrorist is bound to strike. That's some sound advice, so take off your shoes, mate. Just doing my job but keeping the cabin crew safe. Everybody get down before it's too late. This passenger's trying to smuggle on toothpaste. Sitting on the train, every dude got a blue face, holding their breath so they're not a swine flu case. Only a few infected over 2 states, but it must be serious if they said it on the news. Hey, it must be doomsday. The sea grows huge every time that I breathe out CO2. But wait, the northern ice sheet climbs, they say. Now it's not global warming but climate change. Almost relax for a minute, better stay panicked. 24-hour news channel, better not break, damn it. I got money in the bank so I'm safe, right? This just in, global recession, have a great night.
I really love this sense of fear and danger even when it's not there.
One way to keep people under control is to keep them in a fear-based life.
History shows it all happens for a reason. Where a profit's been made, there's an act of treason. The established thesis is wrapped in pieces of disinformation till you crack the secrets. The mass media propaganda engine has got the answers. It commands attention till you realise that the man presenting is paid by the very same hands investing in the cartels that all reap wins. Yes, it's a shame there's no peace on the Wall Street index. The more we invest in independent thought, we'll divert our grip to pens from swords. Lusitania, Pearl Harbor, 9/11. Connected to Northwood's ties are endless. Made to think defense when sold aggression. History repeats through control of perception.
It's all an illusion. An illusion that can control us. Lost the ability to decide perception and reality for themselves.
Time we took back control of our damn minds. Time to put back the soul into mankind. Time to regain that clear intuition and always remember that fear is submission. Turn off the TV, now clear of encryption. Suddenly your own thoughts appear into vision. Stand up humans, don't be told what to think. You won't die from catching the cold from a pig. You didn't choose, you were sold into this. Afraid of a bearded man from a hole in a cliff. Scared the earth would burn to a smouldering crisp. Your third eye blocked like a solar eclipse. So ignore gloss and filler and check the facts. Make up your own mind, invest in that. Suddenly you'll see the world change like the seasons. Reality is only as your brain perceives it.
You are free to do as we tell you. You are free to do as we tell you.
This messes with your mind. This makes you frightened. And if you're frightened, you're
and that's what they want. So he doesn't have to do that, because they pay him.
Wise words indeed from the Synergy crew.
Welcome to the Crime Scene Investigation mixtape.
Track's called The Fear Factory.
Author.
Let go of fear, people. Don't believe the hype. And before that, Low-Key, a track simply called Terrorist. The next one is another one from Imani Hakima. This one is all about microchips, RFID chips. They've been putting them in pets. Now they're putting them in library books. But don't worry, it's just a coincidence. Nothing to worry about.
Will hardly know it's in. Push a button if you wanna know our names. Invented in the labs to keep the low life on the taps. Something tells me that there is another aim. Just beneath the skin, keep the massive discipline, so the mob won't stray too far out of line. Tamper with their choice, artificial in a voice, yet they tell us it is harmless and benign. Just beneath their skin, just beneath their skin, just beneath, just beneath, just beneath their skin. Just beneath their skin, just beneath, just beneath, just beneath their skin, just beneath the skin. Cleverly we're taking in. Everybody wants the children free from harm. Before very long, some will think it hardly wrong if a chip is chipped inside their children's arm. And just beneath the skin, like a shot of heroin, in the interest of the world's security, they say we're on high alert. Come on people, it won't hurt. Be injected, give them your identity. Just beneath their skin, just beneath their skin, just beneath, just beneath, just beneath their skin, just beneath their skin, just beneath their skin, just beneath, just beneath, just beneath their skin, just beneath the skin. It's a game we may not win. In the first place, we can't see we're being played. If you got a doubt, you should always seek it out. Truth is hard to face, but do not be afraid. Truth is hard to face, but do not be afraid. Just beneath their skin, just beneath their skin, just beneath, just beneath, just beneath their skin, just beneath their skin, just beneath their skin, just beneath, just beneath, just beneath their skin.
Great stuff from an artist called Imani Hakima out of Huddersfield, UK. Just Beneath the Skin. As I mentioned, there's a full podcast interview with him on the SoundCloud page, soundcloud.com/Mark-Devlin. And that's part of the Good Vibrations series, which is where this year I'm talking to a whole bunch of music makers and relevant associated people. The first volume was with David Icke. It's been kind of popular, it's had a lot of hits. Second one was with Nisha, R&B singer formerly of BBC One Extra, made a lot of great points. I did one with Dead PREZ, or M1 out of Dead PREZ. And there's a whole bunch of others coming up. Watch out for Steve Wilkes, Long Lasting, and a couple of DJs, DJ Storm and Matt Wakeman. Looking forward to unleashing all of those before the end of 2012. Right now, we're just going to take a break from the music for a few minutes and give you some speech, some spoken word from a dude called Rodney Paradox. This video, The Matrix, is on YouTube. It's a bit of a YouTube phenomenon. It's much talked about, it's much quoted, and it's definitely some wise words worth absorbing. Rodney Paradox.
Hey there. You, wake up. Wake up!
According to the World Bank, just 227 families own 47% of the world's wealth. Here's a poem about that, and it's called The Matrix. Wake up, Neo. The Matrix has you. You just have to see through the illusion, or you'll rue your delusion. In your confusion, you've been deluded into living in a prison of your own choosing. Do you find it amusing to be fed doo-doo by the nightly news, made to crave Gucci shoes, while ignoring the real issue, the extraordinarily disproportionate concentration of wealth in the hands of a few? Tutus, you want to cruise the new venues and have a few brews, while the third world sings the blues and reptiles abuse humans. Over 1,000 children starving to death every hour for the want of some food. Pardon me for being rude, but while you choose to snooze, our rulers amuse themselves, puppeteering human conflict and directing the daily drama, turning you into a fallacious farmer, sowing unconsciousness and expecting to reap good karma. You think the Dalai Lama can't see farther than that? It's time to clean up your act. Wake up, Neo. The Matrix has you. Do you want to know what it is? The Matrix is all around you. It confounds you and astounds you. Its evil genius is bound to arouse the sound of women crying and babies dying. So pay close attention, because I ain't lying. Neo, I'm counting on you. And the countdown started. Rotted. You catch on fast, kid. It seems you get my meaning. It seems you're feeling me. Because I'm appealing to the divine in you, the sublime spark of light in you, shining through every single sinew within you, the part of you that really wants to take the red pill and not the blue. So, Neo, choose. Remember, I only offer you the truth, and we both know the truth can hurt, and worse still, you can't go back to your sleepwalking slumber, your imaginary life 6 foot under. Because once you're in Wonderland, no man can put asunder. So, Neo, time to be a hero. And there goes the red pill. You chose wisely, bro, so don't worry if the room starts spinning. That's just the beginning. The red pill disrupts your input-output carrier signals, and we found that confusion often abounds around about the time you hit ground zero. So hold tight, Neo. Here we go. Well, hello. Welcome to the real world, Neo. Ah, yes, your eyes hurt because you've never used them before, and your throat's sore because you've been forced to snore for 20 years or more. But you're awake now, my son, and there's much work to be done. Because, Neo, you're the one. No, you won't need a gun. Forget dodging bullets, I'm telling you. When you're ready, you won't have to. Now, the first thing we have to do is to clue you into the coup, because Jesus Christ Almighty God, have you been lied to? I did try to warn you, and now it's slowly dawning on you that the Matrix ensures the enslavement of the many by the few. It's nothing new. The rich get richer, the poor get poorer. You don't think that's a coincidence, do you? That's the Matrix for you. Stare it right in the face and still you ignore it. Here in the real world's where I first saw it. I abhor it. What is it they call it? Free market economics? There ought to be a law against it. It's bullshit. The bastard brainchild of the 227 world-controlling bankers. Fucking wankers. People think we're crazy, but one day they'll thank us. You see, how can a market be free when members of the same family, the same ancient conspiracy, get to print our money, lend it to our governments, and charge us a usury? It's an unusually cunning plan, this money for old rope. Bankers getting richer while whole countries go broke. Entire populations held in a chokehold of poverty, reduced to criminality, getting used to rat race banality, and paying taxes. So governments can pay back this axis of evil through their tactical patsies. The Federal Reserve Bank, the Bank of England, the Bank of France, the Bank of Germany, the Bank of International Settlements, the IMF and the World Bank, see? All privately controlled companies, the directors of which are so rich they're richer than most countries, and make Bill Gates look like a country bumpkin. You see, for some, money does grow on trees, and you've been convinced otherwise with surprising ease. You've been brought to your knees, like these people here, bleeding to death for the want of proper health care and struggling to survive on welfare. We're going to get them the hell out of there before what happened in Argentina happens everywhere. And here's the plan. We're using poetry to tell every man, woman and child across the land that our destiny's in our own hands, and all we have to do is take a stand. And here's how. Stop paying for credit. Stop paying the banker's tax. Use interest-free credit schemes instead. Buy all your consumer durables second-hand. Buy everything else from markets, family businesses and charities only. Stop watching television news and stop reading newspapers too. And if you work for a publicly limited company, leave your job immediately. And finally, demand that the bankers give back the wealth they've robbed from humanity. Too much to ask of you? Too much for you to do? Go back to sleep then. The Matrix has you.
Behind my painted smile and all the revolutionary noise is nothing but a lost little boy, confused and insecure, arrogant and overshore, egotistical. So come on, please praise me more. It's great if my music bettered you, but I contemplate murder every day, so don't put me on a pedestal. Plus, truly, just the vehicle, the music just runs through me. In my better moments, I can let the universe use me.
Behind my smile, there's generations of pain, self-hatred ingrained, miseducated my brain, decimated the place where my dead relations were slain, not just physically but mentally penetrated our veins. What you got inside hasn't gotta die once, it can die a lot of times. That I promised my son. Analyze every song that I've done, trying to fight colonialism with a colonized tongue.
Here I stand again, living in sin. Caught up in the dream, behind the painted smile.
Behind my painted smile is the most painful grimace, the mental prison I live in, cause I am so conditioned by my privilege. What a strange contradiction, to grow brown in Britain and know that you're living was paid for by a carcass that resembles yours. Born in the heart of the empire, you're worth more than others just like you, but less than the native ones. Raised by my mum, but in this world I am my father's son.
Behind my painted smile, a very flawed human being, done many things that I regret and never knew the reason. What do you believe in, truth and freedom, or are you deceiving? I don't wanna die in prostration to Europeans. They say the answer is within you and nowhere else. Understand the vision, man on a mission to know himself. This is for my co-defendants, no retreat and no surrender. You probably think that we don't remember Ota Benga.
Here I stand again, living in sin. Caught up in the dream, behind the painted smile.
The smile that's painted on my face is tainted by a frown, picturing the buckets of blood that decorate the town. The trigger drum, bullets sung and guns hummed, and everyone that's dead was somebody, someone.
behind my painted smile. I feel like a naked child, maybe rapping ain't for now, cause my passion's fading out. Up early though, I search and roam along this dirty road, just another traveller taking the long journey home.
All this talk of intervention to protect, and what is the intention? Same as it ever was, the colonial past and present. I'm more respect for most of the right wingers than the paternalistic, patronising liberal bigot.
Our way of life is so divine, we should intervene. Select war and export the British dream. Behind cinema screens, there's much that isn't seen. George Clooney war movies never bring our children peace.
Whoever wake up and just feel like picking off and never coming back to this place and just shutting off.
All the time, I almost did last year. The trouble was the bloody cops had me running in and out the bloody dock.
I've been there, brother, though I don't promote it in this rap. I ain't a stranger to having my back on every plastic.
Can't keep us captive,
see the tactics
to keep us passive.
We beat the fascists,
release the classics and reach the masses.
Here I stand again, living in sin. Caught up in the dream.
It's a track from Akala. Always the most interesting and most conscious of all the UK grime MCs as far as I'm concerned. He really goes there with the lyrical content. That's kind of a soul-searching track, real introspective, looking at yourself and your connection to things and what you need to fix. That's why I like that. And before that, Rodney Paradox, little spoken word sequence called The Matrix. Check it out on YouTube, great video. The guy used to work in the financial sector, used to have a big corporate well-paid job and all of that. Got a little disillusioned with it all, dropped out a few years ago, and that's what he's doing now. Definitely an interesting story. And this next dude was a great find as well. He goes by the name of Sonny Green, aka SGB, only 17 years of age, or he was when he recorded this. Check him out on YouTube. He's got an EP out called When Words Fail, Music Speaks, and this is the intro, and it pretty much says it all.
Greetings, listener, fellow being on this beautiful planet. This is When Words Fail, Music Speaks, and I'm commonly known as Sonny Green, SGB, from Southend-on-Sea. I'm only 17, but this is my kind of philosophy on how things should be and how things shouldn't be. And this is for all ages, all races, multicultural in many different places, many different faces, cause they don't have to be in designer clothes. It's not about pop, man, that's all wrong. See, this music don't have an age limit, don't have a race limit. When you listen, you just gotta feel the positive vibes, feel the energy. And another thing, believe that maybe we can make a change in this world and it can be a better place. And maybe if we put our mind to it, anything can happen. I mean anything. Cause if you throw out and you visualize it and you throw out that energy far enough into the universe, you can make pretty much whatever you want happen. But what's detrimental to society is everyone's just way too negative. They're way too negative because they're locked up in this 9 to 5 routine, where everyone's just glued to TV screens and there ain't no real sense of communities. And these days, it feels like no one's independent. People need to be themselves a bit more and stop caring what everybody else thinks. See, if people didn't just care what everybody else thinks, maybe people would be more creative and people would be more happier with who they actually are, rather than just trying to keep up with the latest trend to make the best friend jealous. They wouldn't be so greedy. But these days everything's about the money and the status and the ego. Like knowledge, wisdom ain't even important. Well, this is When Words Fail, Music Speaks. I'm gonna ask you to check out a few things on YouTube. So go onto YouTube, type in commonly known as Dom. Also check out Chemtrails, research Building 7, then YouTube the pineal gland. Now we're touching roots. Go check out Simon Goldberg and go to one of his seminars. Get yourself a Black's Law Dictionary and just make sure you know your rights when you're talking to a police officer. Big up the St. Paul's family of 2011. Also, big up to Scout the Magician as well. You done a marvelous peace. SGB.
Hello them rude boys and rude girls. For those who know, you get me.
I don't even know what that means.
No one knows what it means, but it's provocative.
No, it's not. It's
gets
gross.
the people going.
Truth decay. Brush up on your facts, and all you got to do is check them stats for what senses are senses when they just miss us, but enlist us to fight for their justice. Truth decay. Brush up on your facts, and all you got to do is check them stats for what senses are senses when they just miss us, but enlist us to fight for their justice. Truth is truth, no matter what I think. Knowledge is power, but it ain't. If you can't occupy your own body and mind, see through the blind in this place full of lies. Television telling lies to your vision and face. Seems like more of us in prison than the workplace. Getting gadgets, so it's easy to forget. Economics, no money, not a damn thing funny. Some dig every minute of it, I'm hating every second of it. Driven, ever since I heard the lie about Thanksgiving. While I'm still thankful through all that fibbing, the truth dies, while them lies make a living. History games, playing stealing family names, slave names turning to government names. Name of the game is to hide that game, and them lies living on with no shame, no lie. Truth decay, brush up on your facts, and all you got to do is check them stats for what senses are senses when they just miss us, but enlist us to fight for their justice. Truth decay, brush up on your facts, and all you got to do is check them stats for what senses are senses when they just miss us, but enlist us to grow and pick their stuff. Don't smoke or laugh at the facts like stupid ass jokes or get lost in my own source. I check the source. I challenge information, trace it to the boss. Refuse to accept the truth when it be lost. Lies in the keys of new songs. You think it's old news. How come the young don't know? It ain't new cause you never knew. I tell them it's only new to you. Opinion, what it is, and it's all up to you to challenge information to see if it's true. And never have so many been screwed by so few. You heard I used it before in this song too. Damn crooks, ask a question, get some stupid ass looks. The truth don't sell a lot of records or books. To hell with rapes, the murder rates, and lying on mixtapes. I want the truth decay. Brush up on your facts, and all you got to do is check them stats for what senses are senses when they just miss us, but enlist us to fight for their justice. Truth decay. Brush up on your facts, and all you got to do is check them stats for what senses are senses when they forget us. We were here first, plus the term indigenous.
None of these heroes will appear on those stamps like Cynthia McKinney, C. Dolores Tucker, and Wangari Maathai, Dorothy Heights, and Shirley Chisholm.
Another track from Public Enemy.
None of these heroes
still going strong from their brand new album of this year. That was called Truth Decay. Before that, SGB, aka Sonny Green, out of Southend, England. Opening track on his When Words Fail Music Speaks EP. Hunt that one down, check him out on YouTube. Switched on guy for 17, 18 years of age, incredible. This next track is by an artist called Chris Ongaro. I don't entirely go along with everything in it because it does seem to be buying into a lot of the hype and fear-mongering and propaganda about 2012. But you know, we're in the year now and some of it is definitely topical, so we'll throw it in there anyway. And as always, people must make of it what they will. But here's Chris Ongaro with 2012.
say that 2012 is the end of the world, so what that means is I won't get to see my little girl. I live my life and abide by the 10 commandments. Now I regret the eyes that read Nostradamus. Mayans with the calendar, pray they're liars, but if they right, then I pray 4 or 5 messiahs. Global tragedies, signs of the end times, tsunamis, earthquakes, and meteorites. The media hypes, it don't take no Einstein. Set the stage, 2012, it's prime time. And as I speak up, the whole world hear me. Oh, you busy with the Philly and conspiracy theories? Really, the world's go crazy. How could you abandon a baby? Close your legs, be a woman, be a lady. Religious hypocrites trying to take my soul. Lord, if you really do exist, please take me home. 2012, I live my life around 2012. It's gonna rain in 2012. 2012. It's going down in 2012. Everybody talking about Masonic rituals and our biblical passages, literal. How can you raise a son knowing what the world's become? The Gulf taught us how to pick up a gun, and most of the time we don't even acknowledge the sun or our own heartbeat, for that matter, our own lungs. We wake up programmed like robots, thinking about the tax bill, but are the facts real? Is it cause we lack skill that we like this? How can we build a system knowing that we headed for a crisis? It's all flawed, homie, it's all about the money. We know the war's phony, we know the cause, homie. Maybe 2012 ain't that bad. 2012 bring us back to the earth, little boys and girls growing up in the world dominated by 2012. I live my life around 2012. It's gonna rain in 2012. 2012. It's going down in 2012. Mother Nature gave us fair warning, but we abused it with global warming. Now the stars mourning. I've had enough of this struggle just to be heard, to make a lifetime living on my own earth. Who need a passport to travel other land? If I am man and you are man, take a brother's hand. I'll make a stand on my own if it's necessary, until the day that I'm dead and buried. Listen, seem like heaven get a little peed off, and who's to blame when he set the 7 seas off? And he strips your G's off and your jeans off. Better day coming, better be or better running. I don't know what's really going on, but what I know is this: us human beings, we're nearly gone. Mother's pride, wanna make my pops happy in this crazy world. 2012, 2012. I live my life around 2012. It's gonna rain in 2012. 2012. It's going down in 2012. 2012. We open a new book.
Chris Ongaro, track called 2012. The next one is a Christmas record, and it feels a little ridiculous to be playing it because as I record this, it's the middle of summer, or what passes for summer in the UK anyway. But I'm giving you this because, first of all, it's from Raskas, who's the artist that brought us Nature of the Threat, that mind-blowing track that was on the first of these podcasts. Definitely look that one up if you've never heard it before. This one is an alternative take on Christmas, breaking down the truth behind what it's all about, who Santa Claus is, and what all that ritual that we go through at the end of December every year really is. This blew my mind when I first heard it. Had to get it on. Raskas, Jack Frost 2.
Catch me at the North Pole, living with the Inuits. Sealskin hoodie, hunting St. Nicholas. European holidays, and niggas so ignorant. Got Prancer and Blitzens heads mounted in my kitchen, bitch. My uncle family, Jehovah's Witnesses. As kids, we thought they was crazy for not celebrating shit. Went to college, learned Christmas is ridiculous. Pagan holidays, ain't no Christ in it. Cause a holiday means a holy day. And December 25th was the birth of the god Saturn. Ancient Romans would celebrate. The upper class worship Mithra, the god of the uncontrollable sun, and that's Christmas. In the Western Hemisphere, December 22nd is the shortest day and longest night of the year. Wanes for 3 days, hence the sun dies. The sun resurrects December 25. So the S-U-N is the son of God. The man-made religion, metaphorical son of God. Named him Omni-Ray, named him Saturn, named him Mithra, named him Christ, the same pattern. Ancient astrology, the Egyptians wrote this. Scientifically put, it's the winter solstice. And after the Catholic Church came to power, they absorbed festivals already popular. In the slave days, they gave us his gifts. Fuck, bound us in metal chains and they whipped us. Went to church and smiled right after they lynched us. You still a fucking slave if you celebrate Christmas. Snow in Bethlehem is rare as fuck. Ain't no evergreens and reindeer, y'all is nuts. The history of Christmas is a mix of customs from pagans. Y'all clowns just decorating Satan. The Yule tree was first decorated in the 16th century in Livonia and Germany. In Northern Europe, the Druids during winter nights kept evergreens as a symbol of everlasting life. Vikings in Scandinavia went a little farther. Thought of the special planet the sun god Balder. The Germanic tribes worshipped Odin. Rode a flying white horse. Original Santa Claus rode one, of course. And the Dutch called him Sinterklaas. His sidekick a demon named the Krampus. Bad children kill a dog. Santa Claus myth combined with Saint Nick, a 4th century Greek bishop who gave gifts. Said he liberated an Ethiopian from a slave ship, who was so grateful he became his servant. It's so racist. The boy called Peter. The origin of the elves is so fiendish. Black Peter in English, Zwartpeter in Swedish. Why do you need this? Look it up if you don't believe it. And even till this day in the Netherlands, they still dress up in blackface. Now go to bed again. Listen, I respect over faith. The Catholic Church pasted celebrations on pagan dates. Culturally, every European participates. Then after the pilgrims immigrate to the United States, all those European customs assimilate, forcibly imposed on every other race. New York City was first colonized by the Dutch fam. It was called New Amsterdam. Now I see a lot of sinners in dementia, worshiping 70-foot trees in Rockefeller Center. Stupid if you ain't Viking or a Druid. If you Christian and or black, you are fucking foolish. I seen Miracle on 42nd Street. Wasn't no Asians or Latinos. You disrespected me. Mental genocide is black laws. I'm just being real. This is fact from Jack Frost.
So a big thanks to everyone for listening to this podcast wherever you are in the world. Feel free to share.
You know what it is.
Put it out there if you feel compelled to do so. Let's really get all this good music into as many places as possible. Get people thinking outside the box.
Not one single criminal Wall Street banker spent a day.
So as I mentioned, there's going to be a whole bunch of interviews in the Good Vibrations podcast series coming up. Watch out for more DJs and more music makers. Going to be doing that all before the end of this year. Check out all the previous volumes on soundcloud.com/Mark-Devlin. I'm finishing off with a track by John Lennon. And the last time I put one of these on one of my podcasts, I had a whole bunch of hip-hop heads saying, "Bruv, what you doing? What you doing, man? John Lennon ain't hip-hop." Exactly. But it's not just about hip-hop, it's about truth music. And John Lennon was a guy that understood so many truths. Definitely ahead of his time, decades ahead of his time. And of course, if you don't like the fact that it's on here, you are of course always free to produce your own podcast and put whatever you want on it. Until then, here's John Lennon.
I'm sick and tired of hearing things from uptight, short-sighted, narrow-minded hypocritics. All I want is the truth. Just give me some truth. I've had enough of reading things by neurotic, psychotic, pig-headed politicians. All I want is the truth. Just give me some truth. No short head, yellow bellied son of tricky dick is gonna mother her.
Hey there. You, wake up. Wake up!
Who makes the rules in them Babylon schools? For manipulate the children, to build a workforce here of machines. Cause them no want no really human beings. Them no want nobody thinking. Cause if you think that you might make a change, and I don't mean Barack Obama change, he's the devil. No, I ain't afraid to say the Rothschilds, you're working with the devil. And I also got to say, all the Rockefellers, you're living with the devil. I speak about the house niggas that they use, the house niggas that they choose, like Barack Obama and the boy named Jay-Z. Oprah Winfrey is a wicked girl. I hear you talking some things in your dirty little world, but there's more than one way to salvation, you see. The boy damn dash used to run up his mouth. The Snoop Dogg just a bark and a shout. That's the things they get paid for, yeah, don't you say, yeah. It's strange that we never see the positive. We never hear the positive. The wickedness is what they want us to be. It's easy. No, I ain't afraid to say the Rothschilds, you're working with the devil. And I also got to say, all the Rockefellers, you're living with the devil. Who paid for the Second World War? And who made all this crack cocaine? Mash up the people galore, inject AIDS in the children down in Africa. You make wars so you can control the drugs on this dirty little world, sir. And all we see is negative. The children live the negative. Oh my Lord, I tell you, yeah, we got to put a fight. The same people that killed Jesus will often make this right. No, I ain't afraid to say the Rothschilds, you're working with the devil. And I also got to say, all the Rockefellers, you're living with the devil. No, I ain't afraid to say the Rothschilds, you're working with the devil. And I also got to say, all the Rockefellers, you're living with the devil.
So it's not often you hear the Rothschilds, the Rockefellers,